recording for? Hello, watch yourself.
Hi guys, and welcome. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we'll be doing my labour and delivery story.
So the story about when she was crying and bawling.
I wasn't crying.
Hello?
At no point did I cry. Tears.
Hey!
Tears. Tears came down. Don't tell lies.
The baby bring up the Snapchat videos.
There's no tears.
Well, there's one video with tears. I never showed it to you.
Oh, really? I don't believe you. You showed me all of them.
You sure about that one?
So my story starts on Friday the 22nd of January. Let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
Right, so from Boxing Day, right? You'd be very lucky if I got out of bed before 11:30, right? But on Friday the 22nd of January, I was up and out of bed. I danced around the bedroom for an hour and a half. I showered, got dressed, and was downstairs before 10 a.m, right? I was on the phone to my aunt, and my nan was in the kitchen cooking, and my aunt said to me, "Why are you in such a good mood?" And I said, "I don't know." And my nan said to her, she's lucky that I'm downstairs so early. So I'm sure that this smoothie that I made was the reason why all of this happened. I made a mango and spinach smoothie.
Ew.
Which was very nice, but I didn't get to finish it. And my nan had cooked. Anyway, I was in the front room. I was eating and drinking a smoothie, and I was on the phone, and I felt water.
You thought a waterfall.
Water. I felt water, right? And then I thought maybe it's just a bit of discharge. So then I felt more, and I was like, no. I really thought I wet myself. So because I was wearing leggings and underwear and a panty liner and stuff, and it was all wet. So I ran upstairs and I changed, and my aunt was like to me, "What are you doing?" And I was like to her, "Oh, I just changed because it was a bit cold." Didn't say anything to her because I was so embarrassed.
Lies.
Yeah, now she knows it was a lie. So I went back downstairs, and I kid you not, 5 minutes later, my jogging bottoms that I had changed into was soaking wet and everything. So I came upstairs and changed again, and she goes to me, "What are you doing again?" So I was like to her, when your water breaks, what does it feel like? And she goes, "It's either a gush or it like trickles down." And she goes, "Why?" And I go, "I thought I wet myself, but I couldn't have wet myself 3 times in a row." So she goes, "No, that's your water." So she said to call my nan, and literally my nan rang me on the phone the same, like as soon as my aunt said call your nan, my nan called me. But she was in the villa. But she did call me to moan about this one because she told him to put the oxtail back in the freezer, and he left it on the sofa for how many days? And she said that the villa smelt because the oxtail that was meant to be in the freezer was left on the sofa.
We never saw the oxtail.
Anyways, so I told my nan, and she said to call the midwife. And when I came upstairs, I couldn't find my notes anywhere that had the number on the front. So for a good 25 minutes, I was looking for these notes. Anyway, I called them. They said, "Okay, come in, but there's no rush," sort of thing. I think it took me like 2 to 3 hours before I actually got there. I got there at 4:30. And it was very weird because in the rooms, there's like 2 people when they check you. There's like one on one end of the room and one on the other. So it was me and this lady, and the woman checked me, although she didn't know what she was doing. And then the other lady basically passed out. So all these like people rushed in, and I was like there with no clothes on. Like my legs, like everything was out. And like 8 people ran into the room, and then they locked the room door, so I couldn't even leave, although I wasn't going to leave no clothes on. But literally I was like there in a corner on the bed. So I literally picked up my jacket and like placed it over my nushi because males were in there. And for a good 20 minutes this woman just nothing. So I was there scared. Did I message you? I messaged someone, and I was like, this woman passed out and I'm just sitting in the room. And then
Was
you? Yeah, I think I messaged you. And I was like, I'm just sitting here. And then like 20 minutes later, she I was gonna say come back to life. She woke up. she woke up.
Resurrection.
And then, like, I was there for a good, like, 15 minutes before they remembered that I was there in the corner. And then the woman was like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me check your results. Like, she forgot all about me. Although she didn't know what she was doing, because what she done it wrong. So then she had the cheek to tell me, your water broke, but it didn't break enough for us to keep you in. So then she made me sit outside for an hour until she decided to give me my notes back and sent me home. And then she was like, you can come back tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Bear in mind that my water broke at like, it started to break at 1:30. And they're meant to, like 24 hours after your water breaks, they're meant to induce you, otherwise you're going to catch an infection. So she sent me home. And my friend was like to me, just go back tomorrow morning and say that it's like it carried on even if it didn't, so that they would induce you. So that was my plan all along. But then my grandmother decided to jinx it, because in the car and when we got back home, all she kept saying was, oh, it's going to happen in the night, it's going to happen in the night. Just make sure you don't come and wake me up. I'm going to lock my bedroom door. I'm not going to answer. Do not come and knock on my door all night because I'm not going to reply. But it's going to happen during the night. That's all she kept saying. And believe you me not, she jinxed it. I'm sure she prayed that night. I think I was feeling contractions, but it was like, it wasn't regular. So I thought it was Braxton Hicks. And then I slept for like an hour. Come 2 a.m. Nah, there was no sleep. Some people
Hey, listen.
was watching videos on the laptop while I was standing there in pain because I couldn't lay down or anything.
Yeah, that's fine. I couldn't do anything.
And then about an hour later, he decided to go to sleep.
Yeah, I had to get my sleep.
Well, I was up in pain because from 2 o'clock in the morning I didn't sleep. So I was up, I was feeling those contractions, and when I felt like they were like closer together, I started tracking them on the app when I remembered to. Sometimes I forgot to hit that button. And then I just kept going toilet, and every time I went toilet I thought, is that the baby? I couldn't lay down, I couldn't stand straight. I was like in the most awkward positions. I'd be like leaning over the bed with one leg on the bed and then the other leg hanging off the bed. Like, it was so bad. And then at like 6 o'clock in the morning, I woke him up for my dressing gown. I was like to him, oh, can you get my dressing gown? Because I was really cold. Like, I kept shivering. And then after, I was like to him, oh, can you go and get my nan, please? Because she needs to take me to the hospital now. The boy jumped out of the bed so quickly. He got dressed. I'm sure he was prancing around this room. He got dressed. He passed me my clothes to put on, and then he ran downstairs. So, anyway, I got dressed. And all I remember saying to myself is, I don't want my nan to see me like while I'm having a contraction, because like for the whole pregnancy she kept going, when you have a contraction you're gonna go, nurse, nurse, and the nurse gonna tell you to shut up. So I didn't want her to see me having a contraction. So my thought was, I'm gonna film the contraction upstairs, run into the car and get to the car before the next contraction so she don't see nothing. And I said, I'm gonna sit in the back, because if I sit in the front she's gonna see everything, so I'm gonna sit in the back. So when the contraction went, I went downstairs, I walked past her and I said good morning, and she said good morning to me with the biggest smile on her face. So we all knew she was enjoying it, because Alistair said when he went to wake her up, because she walks with 2 crutches, he said when he went to wake her up, she never walked to the door with crutches, she walked without the crutches. So it's like she knew she was waiting for it to happen. Yeah, I literally went straight to the car. And then they came in the car, and I don't remember what happened after that, to be honest. I remember like laying down and I remember my eyes being closed, and when I remember waking up, I was like being like moaned at to hurry up and get in a wheelchair. And then they were trying to make me go in the wheelchair while I was having a contraction. And all I remember, my nan was like, she put her hand on my chest and she goes, just wait for the contraction to end before you move. And she was pushing her hand on my chest so hard. And I felt like she was praying, but I don't know because I couldn't remember what was happening. And then I just remember being pulled in and there was this bright light. And then I think that's when they said to him that he couldn't go any further. So then this black woman pulled me in. And she pulled me to the door and then had the cheek to ask me to walk in. And I just didn't answer her because I was having a contraction. And then I think she, like, after 3 times of asking me, she realised that I just still didn't move. She just pulled the thing in because I don't know why she didn't do it in the first place. But then this is where I realised that black people are so wicked sometimes. There was this other black woman They are. Then I had this other black woman, and she was asking me the most stupid questions, like, what's your name, what's your date of birth, how many weeks are you, like, she didn't take the folder from me, so she didn't see this information anyway. And so yeah, she was asking me these questions. She asked me if I can do a urine sample, and I was like to her, do I have to, because I was here like literally a couple of hours ago and I had to do 2. And then she goes, yeah, she'd prefer if I do another one just in case anything's changed and blah blah blah. So, but she had to wait a good like while until I like was able to walk to the bathroom. So I done that, and then she checked me. So the day before, when I went about the waters and the lady checked me, she said I was only 1 centimetre dilated. When I went back that morning and the black woman checked me, she said I was 2 centimetres dilated. And she saw how much pain I was in, and
What?
I keep telling to hold her neck. And then she checked me and I was 2 centimetres dilated, but she said to me that I wasn't actually in labour. And then she was saying that I think I'm going to send you home. So I sat there. I was having a contraction, but I wasn't even feeling it because I was so annoyed. I sat there and I was like, I'm not going home. Like, you're not sending me home. And I sat there, and then she was like to me, would you like any pain relief? I was like, no. She goes, but if you're on pain, why don't you want pain relief? I said, well, what are you going to give me? She goes, paracetamol. I said, well, I can't swallow it, so, you know, because I can't swallow tablets. And she was going, but you need to take paracetamol. I said, what's paracetamol going to do? Don't even help with a headache. So how's it going to help with a whole contraction? And she knew I wasn't happy with her because she was trying in her power to give me the paracetamols and then make it out like I'm not in pain so she could send me home. So like an hour later, she was like, she checked my heart rate and pulse and stuff again, and then my pulse went up because it was on 117, which is really high. So then she goes, I don't know if I should keep you in or not. And I was like, so I'm not going home. I don't know what part that she didn't understand. So then like 30 minutes later, she said, okay, we're going to take you up to Mulberry Ward, which is where they keep you until they are ready to take you into the labour ward. So she said, should she take me up there? And I was like to her, no, I don't want you to take me up there. I want someone else to take me up there, because I was, at this point, I was so fed up with her. And another small Asian lady who was really nice walked me up there, me and another lady. So we walked up there, and no, I lied. I said, yeah, I want to go up there, but I don't want her to take me. And then she said to me, but you have to walk up there. You can't take the wheelchair. And I was like, why? And she goes, oh, we need the wheelchair for down here. Damn well knowing that there were so many wheelchairs, she didn't need it, but she was just wicked, right? So this is why I don't like her. And if I was to ever see her again, I don't remember what she looks like. But so I took my time to walk up there, and then I got up there, and then the midwife that was looking after me, her name was Shanique. That's why I remember her name. She was very nice. She looked after me very well. And the doctor, don't remember her name. She was very nice. She came. She then as well offered me the tablets. And I was like to her, I can't swallow them. And she said that the 2 paracetamol she's going to give me, they will dissolve in the water. And the codeine tablet was like really small. So she said to put the water in your mouth and then drop the tablet in your mouth and look up. So I done that, and I actually swallowed it. And it only worked for 9 minutes. And after the 9 minutes, I was having the contractions again. And she checked me. She goes, you're only 2 centimetres dilated and your water still hasn't fully broken, but your contractions are really close, which is weird. And I was like to her, like, I was being so salty about that woman. I was like, and the woman downstairs was going to send me home. So she put me on the monitor because they're meant to monitor you for 45 minutes. And literally after like 10 minutes, she goes, okay, we're going to take you down to the labour ward. And she was like to me, because I was meant to have a water birth, but obviously because they had to break my waters because they didn't break fully, she said, I'm going to break the rest of your water, because basically I have 2 sacs. So the front one started to break but didn't break fully. Take a picture, it lasts longer. And the back one didn't break. So she said she's going to break the first one with the stick thingy that she pushed up there. And then she said she's going to put me in a drip and something else, and that should hopefully help the second one to break on its own. But because she had to finish breaking that one, I couldn't have the water birth. So she said to me, do I want to have a C-section later on that day, or do I want to go into the room and try and have it naturally? Now I was this close to saying just give me a C-section, because for the whole pregnancy I was saying I'm going to have a C-section. But everybody's going, no, you can't have one. So I was like, let me try it naturally. And I was like to her, if like at any point I want to have a C-section, I can ask and they will give me one. And she said, yeah, they can schedule one. So I was like, okay. So they took me down, and the midwife is meant to stay upstairs, which was really nice. She said that she wanted to make sure I was okay, so she came downstairs, and she was holding all my stuff. You know, they didn't even that woman was so wicked, because she knew she could have just pushed me in a wheelchair up there, but she made me walk. These people left me on the bed and just pushed the bed down there. And when we was going back through triage, the beginning bit where that woman checked me, she was standing by the door, and the woman was like, why is she going to labour ward already? And the woman went, because her contractions are like 2 to 3 minutes apart. And the woman goes, oh, so she really is in labour. And I was like to her, and you was going to send me home. And then they just pushed the bed. I was so sorry, because she was so wicked. I don't know why black people are so wicked to other black people sometimes. And look at the field she's working in. Anyway, so I got into my room. No, obviously the bed couldn't go into the room because the door was so thin. So there was like 2 other Jamaican ladies waiting there for me. I think they saw my name and said, oh, she's a Jamaican, or she's got Jamaican in her, so we have to look after her.
Foolishness.
Listen.
Foolishness.
Keep hating.
Foolishness.
So anyway, got down there. They helped me. They undressed me. They put the little hospital gown thing on me. And then they gave me something to eat, because they said once they put me on that drip thing, I can't eat. So they brought me a sandwich, which was expiring the next day. So I had like 2 bites and that was it, because it was horrible. They gave me the orange juice. That was horrible. So I literally didn't eat nothing. And then I can't really remember what happened. I think the next time they checked me, I was 4 centimetres dilated. So she said, oh, it's not going to happen until tomorrow. So I was like, okay. Then the woman said, well, whoever your birth partner is, they can come. I didn't message him till like an hour later and say, okay, you can come now.
No, you didn't remember.
Yeah, I didn't tell him until like an hour later or 2 hours later that he can come. But anyway, by the time I remembered, I told him, oh yeah, you can come now, because the woman kept coming in saying, where's the person, where's the person? And I was like, oh yeah. So then, anyway, he came, and I then had the cannula thing put into my arm. And then they put the drip and something else. And then because of my allergies, they had to put me on antibiotics at the same time. But then, you know, they messed up, because once the antibiotics finished, they didn't top it up. So, anyway, I got my I don't know if it's pethidine or something like that injection, the pethidine one. I got that, and I don't remember being in pain. And then I got the gas and air, and that gas and air was amazing. Like, I heard stories about it, and I loved it. I think even when I wasn't having a contraction, I was just sucking on that, because it done something to me. It's so hard to remember what happened after that. I know he's got videos of me that are very bad. I was chatting the most. Like, that's what I remember, chatting the most.
She was high like a kite.
Like, I was just literally chatting the most. I was shivering. I don't know why, but I was shivering so much.
You didn't want icicle.
I was just shivering so much. I don't really remember what happened after that. I just remember I was in so much pain. Why are you laughing? My hip was killing me, right? And I wasn't crying, but I was like moaning about the hip because it was hurting. And then I remember this guy coming in, and he was spraying like some spray thing on my legs and my back and my hip, and asking me where it felt cold. And I remember then all these different like white ladies came in, and
the doctors. Yeah,
doctors. And I remember her saying that she was going to check me, and I don't remember. All I remember is sucking on the gas and air, and all I remember hearing is you're 9 centimeters dilated, and then in my head I was like 1 centimeter to go. Didn't know how long it was going to take. So then she said, oh, in 2 hours time she's going to check back, and I should be 10 centimeters dilated by then. I don't know if it was a whole 2 hours or less. And my midwife came and checked me, and then she said I was fully dilated, so I was 10 centimeters, because obviously you have to be 10 before you can start pushing. Because she said, oh, you're fully dilated, but you still have to wait 2 more hours for the head to go down more.
It was 1 hour.
It was 2.
1.
It was 2.
Who you gonna believe? The one that was high like a kite, or the person who was there sober?
So anyway, it was finally time to push when they started putting the leg thingies up. And labour was nothing compared to having to push this little girl out. Right? It was horrible.
I love it.
This guy was like, oh, I'm not even going to be up there. I'm not going to watch there. I'm literally going to be as far back as I can. I'm going to be, and then he said he was going to be on his phone. He was going to be playing games. He weren't going to watch. He weren't going to help. That's how he kept going on. Little did we know, Alistair was up there and in front, watching everything. You had a choice.
Because someone couldn't push properly.
He was there watching.
So I had to step in.
So anyway, it was time to push. We was doing, they said, you know, whenever you have a contraction, push. Whenever you don't have a contraction, then stop pushing. So,
push.
like, I don't even know how long, but they said I was pushing. He said I was pushing for like an hour.
He was pushing for exactly an hour.
For exactly an hour I was pushing. I realised that not everyone, it was basically him, was getting fed up. And I was thinking, why are they getting fed up with me? Like, I'm trying to push. Like, I say I have a contraction, they tell me push, and I'm pushing, and they're like getting frustrated. And I was so confused. So I just gave up with pushing. When I was having a contraction, I was just making it like I wasn't having one because I was so confused with what I was doing wrong. They said push, I was pushing.
You weren't pushing hard enough.
So, but anyway, he explained to me that when I was having a contraction, you could see her head come in. And then, I don't know, but maybe when the contraction went, I kind of breathed in. So she kind of just came back up sort of thing. And apparently I've done it quite a few times.
Quite a few? It was double digits.
So that's why everyone was getting fed up with me. So then they said to me, when we tell you to push hard, push hard. When we tell you to do soft pushes, do soft pushes. And when we tell you to cough, you must cough. Never have I ever heard them tell you to cough while you're trying to push out your baby.
You know the game Bop It? She's the worst at it.
Like, and I was asking friends after, like, did you ever have to cough when you was pushing out your child? And they all said no. So anyway, there's times like they'll go and push hard, and I'm pushing hard, and then they'll go cough, and they'll all cough, and I'll go ahem, and they'll go cough, and I'm like ahem, and then obviously I got told I can't cough.
No, she can't.
Because you don't have no energy, and they're telling you to cough.
Cough now?
I remember asking for a forceps. Now looking back, if I did get a forceps, I think I would have been really upset. But do you remember me asking for that?
Yes, you asked for it literally just at the last second.
Yeah, like literally.
Like a buffoon.
I asked for it, and I think after I asked for it, when I done the next push, her head came out. And when I tell you, I felt some adrenaline when I felt like
her
something.
head was already out.
I felt something heavy hanging, and one more push and she was out. I just done one push, and all I felt was, you know how fish swims? That's all I felt come out my nani, like, and I was like, what's that? And then they just lifted her up, and I was like, ugh. And I just put my head back, and I looked up, and literally, I just remember asking for forceps, and the girl was like to me, you don't need it. Like, you literally don't need it.
No. She kissed her teeth.
She
very, very loud and said you don't need it.
She was like, because they kept saying, oh, you're doing so well. And I just remember kept saying, oh, it's not working. And like, after every push, I kept going about my hip, and I kept asking them if they could numb my hip. And she kept going, I can't numb your hip. And I was like, I need my hip numbed. But yeah, so I asked for forceps. So I think then, yeah, it was one push after the head, and the rest of the body came out. And then Taya was born at 11:43 p.m. although some people told me 11:53 p.m.
I know, that's the time I looked at my phone.
But she was born 11:43 p.m. and she weighed £6.07. So poor thing, none of the clothes did fit her because although every scan I went to, they told me I'm gonna have a baby over £8 and I had a baby that was £6 something. So they lied to me. Yeah, I don't even think I looked at her that much, to be fair, because I was just so relieved that I didn't have to push. Like, I didn't feel some sort of stretching going on down there. But I just remember holding her, and I think I looked at her the 2 times she cried, and I don't even think she cried on her own, because when she came out she didn't cry, but when they were like trying to wipe her and stuff, they were like, come on baby, cry, and I think she made like one little noise, and I looked, and then I looked away because I was like, you know, in relief. And then it was time to stitch me up because I got 2nd-degree tears, but the woman said I only teared on one side, which is weird. They thought that she had jaundice. Everyone kept saying to me, your baby's really yellow. She wasn't yellow. The only thing that was yellow was her eyes, just a bit. But yeah, it was a weird experience because like, that woman that I dealt with the Saturday morning was very wicked. Like, I wish I would have reported her. But I mean, like, when I was in the labour ward, like, everybody that was like looking after me, they really did like look after me, especially the last 2 women that helped me deliver. If only I remembered her name, I actually would have like rang her chocolates and stuff, but I couldn't remember her name for the life of me. And I didn't think it was acceptable to go up to like the front desk and ask for an African lady and an Asian girl. So that's the end of my labour and delivery story. Don't forget to like if you like this video, comment what you want to see down below, and don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you in our next video.